Don't miss these things in GTA Online before July 30th. This weekly update has some really nice things, for example the weekly challenge, different discounts, free cars and much more that you want to take advantage of before July 30th rolls around. Without wasting any more time, let's dive into the first section. To start things off, we have a really easy reminder about the Fine Art Collector program from the last few weeks. These various rewards and different unlocks will be available until August 5th, but I thought I may as well remind you guys just in case you forget them. First of all, mansion owners who played from June 17th to July 13th will receive that massive $1 million discount on the art studio, and trust me, you will need this because it does retail at just under $5 million. You will also get the free Vault keypad for the art studio upgrade, which means that you can practice the Vault keypad whenever you get the chance. The Court Center Heist primary target painting for this week will be the Outcome of Endeavor. You will also get this mansion sculpture, and you can still get the free Western Company Annihilator stealth. So yeah, just treat this as a reminder. Obviously August 5th is quite a way away now, but it will be around before you know it. Next up, in terms of bonus money this week, we did have some pretty nice options that you probably want to do before July 30th, starting off with a massive 5 times money and RP bonus on the HSW Race series. Now just bear in mind, this is only available on the enhanced versions of GTA Online, and to find these races, I would recommend using the filter at the bottom when you are in the Races tab. Just having that 5 times bonus is pretty nice, and it will be even better if you manage to get a full lobby of players, and especially if you win the races. If you have a really nice HSW vehicle, even the new vehicle called the Veleno GT, you might surprise yourself on these races and win quite a few of them. After that, we had a triple money on the Overtime Rumble Adversary mode and the Community series. Honestly, some pretty nice bonuses. Triple money is still really nice, especially on adversary modes for the most part. Again, it is sort of similar to the HSW Race series. If you have a full lobby of players, especially crew members and friends, you will get a better payout and some more RP. Overtime Rumble can also be really fun. Alongside them bonuses that we have mentioned, there was a 4 times money on associate and bodyguard salaries. This will be a surprisingly good bonus. I know I already mentioned playing with crew members and friends, so if you guys have maybe 2 friends or even just 1 friend, as long as you are an associate or bodyguard and maybe even taking turns being one or the other, you will be making some nice cash on the side whilst you play these other bonuses. And the final bonus that we got from the weekly update was a double money on the first time completion of the Titan job mission, which is the Oscar Guzman Flies Again finale. This is by far the best bonus this week, with the potential to make you guys upwards of $2 million if you play it on the hard difficulty. Out of all of the bonuses, this is the one that I focused on. Unfortunately, I set the difficulty to normal when starting the setup missions, and it locked my difficulty for the whole thing, so I could not take advantage of the best payout. However, to give you guys some quick tips on the finale itself, especially doing it solo, you want to make sure that you collect the Mogul upgrades. With the Mogul upgrades installed on the finale, you can continuously shoot the Titan 250D. You do not even have to worry about the submarine missiles. As you'll see in the gameplay, I just kept shooting the Titan, and before I knew it, the Titan was crash landing. When the Titan is crash landing, I would recommend jumping out near this road, and this is where you guys can call any personal vehicle you want, apart from things like the Oppressor Mark II, of course. At this point, I would highly suggest getting an armored Kuruma, calling it in and wiping some enemies out first. You can then repair the engine of the Titan, take out some more enemies, and park the armored Kuruma near this turret. When you leave the armored Kuruma next to this turret, preferably on the right side to make things easier, unlike what I did in the gameplay, when you actually do this, the Titan ammunition, when it drops in from the cutscene, will then be blocked off from the right hand side, allowing you to fill the ammunition much easier. This will be a great strategy to use, especially on hard difficulty. And then of course, once you fill the ammunition, from this point onwards, it is really straightforward. Destroy the convoy, blow up the submarine, and destroy the train. Once completed, you will get a very nice payout, which honestly makes this all worthwhile. For a more in-depth breakdown on the Oscar Guzman Flies Again missions with this double money, here is the breakdown from PL Titus. You can see all the different hard mode payouts, and even the prep mission payouts if you manage to get every vehicle and additional things in the setups. So yeah, the bonus money this week is extremely nice. Next up, for weekly money methods, this is where things get a little bit different with every single weekly update now. Starting off with the basics, we of course have the weekly challenge, and this one is genuinely insane, essentially a 4 times bonus, so in my opinion, well worth completing. If you complete the Courts Center heist, without dying, you will receive $400,000. Now, it might be a little bit difficult to complete this one, especially with the lasers at the end of the heist, or even just getting initially set up with the heist, getting through the Courts Center itself, but I do think this is well doable. I know a lot of people just don't really like the Courts Center heist, especially with the payout changes. For me, I really dislike the laser room especially, but if you don't rush through it and try your very best to deactivate the lasers at each section, it makes it a lot better. To give you a really brief rundown of the heist setup that I like to do, which I have been playing around with for quite some time now. For the infiltration gear, I like to use the alpha male disguise. For the unmarked weapons, so far I found the street loadout to be quite effective with the additional Mark II weapon that you get. The getaway vehicle is the Manches, and then for the prep missions, I like to complete the guard shipments to make my life just a little bit easier, especially if I do get detected. The glass cutter as well for the secondary loot, and obviously the access code and hacking device are needed. The power drills could be useful. Unfortunately for this run through, I did not get them. When I started this heist, I just drove the alpha male van over to the Courts Center, then over to the loading bay towards the back of the Courts Center. This allowed me to enter completely undetected. I can then take out this guard straight away without the CCTV seeing me, collect the loading bay key card, and just like that we are into this room. Back a door, take out the guards inside here stealthily, and I can enter the key code. I will have a more in-depth breakdown on this setup, but for getting strictly to the vault, this is highly efficient, and like I said, I'm still figuring some things out, especially in terms of the escape, but so far this seems to be one of the best ways to do this. At the end of this heist, after completing it, you will see that I got rewarded with the $400,000 almost instantaneously, so yeah, overall a very nice payout for this heist. The first time completing it in the week, getting me about $1.6 million, with the added $400,000 on top. If you can manage to do this before the weekend on July 30th, you'll be rolling in money. Another weekly money method that you might want to do is the FIB priority file. In this weekly update, it was the brute force file. You can also complete these bonus challenges for an additional $50,000. Of course, the new section of the weekly money methods is the Courts Center heist primary targets this week. We of course had the outcome of Endeavor, which is for the fine art collectors only, the winter nowhere in particular, painting, I hear voices, and I fruit. As I've said before, the first time playing this heist this week will get you a boosted payout. We then have our salvage yard robberies. We have the podium robbery for the Grotty Stinger TT, the gangbanger robbery for the Ubermax Cypher, and the cargo ship robbery for the Canis Seminole Frontier. Doing all 3 of the salvage yard robberies gets you roughly around $1 million weekly, almost like doing a heist. If you have the spare time to do that, I would always recommend it. And our final weekly money method, at long last, will be the time trials. The new premium race this week was called Cutting Coroners, the standard time trial was Observatory, and the HSW time trial was Sandy Shores to La Paretta. Get these things ticked off before July 30th. For the next section, we of course have to cover the discounts, and there is honestly nothing too crazy this week. First up, we had a 50% off the Chameleon Paints, which is only available for the enhanced versions of GTA Online. We also got that 50% off the Mackenzie Field Hangar, which will be a really nice pickup for the Oscar Guzman Flares Again missions, paying out that double money first time bonus. We of course have our standard vehicle discounts at 30% off, the Benefactor Vorschlag Hammer, Tulip M100, JB700W, Windsor Drop, Karen Technical, Pegassi Tempesta, Pegassi Torero, Vista 811, and the Retinue Mark II. Not a bad lineup. I would probably say that the Tempesta or the 811 are my go-to choices. Then we have the gun van discounts, a 30% off the combat shotgun, and a 40% off for GTA Plus members on the compact EMP launcher. Altogether not too bad. This week in GTA Online, we also had some new test rides. Starting at PDM or Simeon's Auto Shop, we had all of the vehicles that have a discount, so this will be a nice chance to test drive some of them, for example the 811, and then if you really like them, having that 30% discount should be quite nice to go alongside that. At the Luxury Autos dealership, we had 2 new vehicles. We had the Benefactor Laufer and the Veleno GT. The Veleno GT is quite easily my go-to choice there. I have been loving this car since it came out fully, putting the HSW upgrades on the Valeno GT, and just speeding around pretty much everywhere feels incredible. It is really similar to the FMJ Mark V, but in my opinion, just that little bit better. It seems to handle and take corners very, very easily. The last test track vehicles are at the LS Car Meet. We have the JB700W, Pegassi Tempesta, and the Pegassi Torero. Remember, all of these ones also have that 30% discount. Then, for the HSW test ride, we have the Grotti Brioso R/Air. Again, potentially worth test driving them before you purchase any. And last but not least, for our final section, we are now on to the free cars this week. Nothing too spectacular. We start things off with the Casino Lucky Wheel Podium vehicle, which will be the Vapid Ratel. In my opinion, the best free car this week. A great off-road vehicle. I also think it looks really cool. Just make sure to spin the Lucky Wheel before July 30th. The second free vehicle was inside the LS Car Meet for the prize ride. This one is called the Dinker Post Looped. I'm not going to lie to you guys, at first I did not really rate this vehicle, but just seeing it as the LS Car Meet prize ride, it genuinely does look quite nice. If you wanted to get this one for free, you just need to place top 5 in the LS Car Meet series 3 days in a row. So hopefully just about doable with the July 30th reset date. And yeah, with that being said, that really wraps it up for this weekly update, going over the things that you don't want to miss out on. Hopefully this gives you guys a really nice summary of what you really should focus on before this update refreshes. Did you guys manage to complete that weekly challenge as well? Getting that $400,000 bonus is extremely nice, on top of the heist money itself. But yeah guys, if you want to enjoy this video or found it useful in any way, shape or form, leave a like, I always do appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel and like what you see, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.